Hello, it's Steve Mills here, and welcome to the Results Mastery live stream and live podcast as well. It's great to be here. Thank you for your time, and I'm looking forward to sharing with you some really interesting facts, figures, and ideas and ways in which you can grow your business. Now, today we're looking at AI. How to use AI for small business consulting and really to grow any small business, whether it's consulting or pretty much anything. So, one of the big problems that I see with AI, and it's a problem that's been around for many, many years, and that's the problem of not knowing what you don't know. I can remember back when I first started using a computer, I thought I knew how to use one. Now, if I compare that with my knowledge now, it would be probably less than 10%. And then came the internet and how we use that. And even things like, if you ask me, how good are you at using PowerPoint, Steve? I'd probably say, oh yeah, yeah, I'm good. I've used it for many, many years. I know PowerPoint. And yet there's probably, only about 40% of it that perhaps I'm using. So I believe that's the case with AI today. In fact, I don't just believe it, I absolutely know it. I'm going to talk about some figures in a few minutes. And to be honest, I'm going to say most of them. I think all of them I've made up, but they're just my honest appraisal of what I think the situation is. Just before I do that, I've got some slides to show you. So let me just share my screen. Just bear with me a second while I do that. Let's move over to the slides. Right. Okay. Right. Okay. So welcome to Results Mastery. My name is Steve Mills, and I've got a couple of slides just to, by way of an introduction, tell you a little bit more about me and the company and what we do and so on before we go into the actual AI bit. So just bear with me. I'll go through this bit fairly quickly. So that's what we're here to talk about today, how to use AI for small business marketing in the UK. A little background here of what I firmly believe in terms of marketing, and that ultimately there are three ways of growing a business: get more customers, increase their average transaction value, and get them to buy more often. And this is something I learned back 30 odd years ago from a guy called Jay Abraham. And it's still as true today as it was back then. And now it's a matter of how can we use AI to do those three things. Little bit about me, as I mentioned, former international sportsman, having played table tennis at international level. Been doing this now for 31 years. I've worked with 10,000 businesses. On average, I get a 45% growth within 12 months. I'm also the author of 4 books on marketing, over 2,000 videos on YouTube, quite a largeable social media following. And my record, which I managed to achieve inside about an hour of working with a business, I gave them an idea that helped them make £42 million over the next 12 months. I should have been on commission, but there we go. I come from a background really where, being an international sportsman, it was always about getting better. Getting better at something was really, really important. And then there was doing more of what you got good at, trying to really, I suppose, enforce your game on your opponent. And then there were new skills, new things that you could do, you could learn. Perhaps you could learn a new serve at table tennis. And that I took into the world of business. So it's about getting better at your marketing. It's about mastering your results and then doing more of it and then looking at what you're not doing and maybe starting doing that in order to develop and scale your business even further. A couple of things just to talk to you about that I think might be of value to you. My Results Mastery University, if you're going to want to get a better business, you've got to become a better business owner. It's as simple as that. You need to learn about this stuff. I'm not going to be able to teach you everything that you need to know in half an hour on a free web meeting about AI or about marketing. So we need some way of gaining expertise. You either hire it in or you learn yourself. And I strongly recommend, even if you do decide to hire somebody to come in and do stuff, that you become pretty good at it yourself. So to do that, you can join my Results Mastery University for 50 quid a month. So well worth it. Next one is my Kickstart program. This is my real basic program where you get, again, access to me through various meetings, Q&As, and so on and so forth. Again, really cost effective. The cost of all that expertise, of those things that you can see there, is £25 a month. It's a no-brainer, in my opinion, and something you should take very seriously. In fact, I almost say you should definitely join it. I can't see why you wouldn't. My 6 steps of business growth, I'll just go through these for you and think about this from a context of AI. Number one, the biggest problem that we've all got is overcoming obscurity. If you're not known by your market, don't know you, they've never heard of you, don't know who you are, don't know what you do, and so on. We got a problem which we've got to cure. We cure that by communicating with them and then connecting to them in some way. That could be connecting on LinkedIn or other social media. It could be getting them onto your email list. It could be retargeting them through your website and so on and so forth. Getting people to a level where they know, like, and trust you. People buy from people that they know, like, and trust, particularly when it's a big sale. So really important, that one. And then all that really comes into turning this communication into two-way communication. You've only really got there when they're communicating back. I send out an email saying, here's a new video, and people respond and come back on the video. So that's, again, really, really important. And then the next 2 steps are the bits that actually really matter. They get the money in there. That's ultimately what matters. Oh, what's happened there? Sorry, I've gone forward one. Going forward now when I should be going backwards. That's where I wanted to be, here, not there. So turning those all this goodwill into meetings, so getting meetings and then turning those meetings into sales. That's really what we want to try to do. So here we go then. First thing, AI, the opportunity for small businesses right now. Let me talk to you about what that is. Well, I believe it's the biggest opportunity since the dawn of the internet, except it's growing so much faster, so much quicker. You take websites like, I don't know, LinkedIn and Facebook and Instagram and TikTok and so on, and they grew exponentially, really, really quick. Facebook hit a billion views in what it was, I can't quite remember, but let's say it's like 8 or 9 months. Well, ChatGPT did that in like 2 or 3 days. So that gives you some idea of the speed of growth. The other thing I'd say is the speed of change. When I first got involved with it, I thought, yeah, ChatGPT, this is amazing. How can it, it's just incredible it does this. But actually, do you know what? There are other sites around that are even more incredible, and I'll talk to you about those as we go through. Most people, however, are either overwhelmed by it. They think, "Oh, I haven't got time to learn all that. I don't know how to do it," or they think they know it. Actually, some of them they go, "Oh, yeah, yeah, I use AI all the time." Actually, they're losing, or sorry, using probably less than 5% of it, and they are losing most of it, to be honest. Or they're ignoring it, and a lot of them actually are quite fearful. Oh, it's terrible. It's evil. It's going to take my business. It's going to mean billions of people are going to be out of work, and so on and so forth. Well, I'm not saying it's not going to have an impact, but we're going to have to learn new skills for new jobs. The probably the best job in the world would be somebody who is an expert on AI. That is a really good job to be in. And I do believe that it's not so much AI is going to take your business, it's probably somebody who knows how to use AI that could potentially ruin your business by becoming really good at what they do. And if they do the same thing as you and can do it faster and cheaper and so on, then that's a massive thing. 98% of the businesses that are using AI are using less than 5% of it. That is definitely something I believe. I made those numbers up, but it's what I believe. The businesses that are adopting AI now will be dominating the market in 18 to 12 months' time. And that 18 to 12 months, that again is just my opinion, but I reckon it could be 3 to 6 months. So it's changing that fast.